What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. EMT here, and in this video we finally share 5 reasons why I absolutely love the Hohem iSteady M6. Let's dive in. Before we begin, shout out to Hohem. They have supported the channel for quite some time. They have actually sent us the Hohem iSteady M6 and MT2 for review for the channel. These are not brand new gimbals. These have been around for a couple of months now, pretty much the tail end of 2023. But still to this day, I think it's one of the best gimbals in the industry right now. And of course, take this with a grain of salt because I have actually been working with Hohem on different conventions. I've had the opportunity to support them at CES as well as NAB 2024. So I just thought you should know. Having said that, here is reason number 1. Up to 400 grams of payload capacity. This is one of those smartphone-centric gimbals that actually has a beast of a payload capability. You can add lenses, you can add filters, you can add lights, microphones. This gimbal will take it on. In this sequence of videos, I've been using a Sandmark anamorphic lens with a neutral density filter, motion variable neutral density filter, and it's handling it like a champ with a case. The AI sensor, which we're definitely going to talk about, the fact that this gimbal supports 400 grams of payload capacity opens up the opportunity for you to get creative and build your own rig. Now, speaking of the AI sensor, this is by far one of those features that separates the Hohem iSteady M6 from the rest, and that is the ability to track no matter the app that you're using. With just a simple OK gesture, you can actually have this gimbal track you no matter the software you're using. If you're filming using the Filmic Pro app or even the Hohem app, or heck, the native camera app, even using the rear camera, which we all know are the best pair of sensors that most smartphones have, in contrast to the front-facing camera, this gives you the capability to trust that you are being kept in the frame. You can use this on social media networks like TikTok, Instagram, you name it. Even apps like Zoom. Let's say you're having a Zoom meeting and you want something to track you. You can actually have this gimbal track you and keep you always in the frame. And it's very impressive. I've tried to fool it many times trying to hide, but it always comes back and it finds me, and it's really cool. The AI sensor is also a fill light. Removable fill light, which you can use, of course, to impact low light conditions and get a little bit better definition in your vlogs. This is also RGB, and you can adjust it using the wheel on the left side of the gimbal. And just the fact that is removable, right? It's one of those things that if I don't want to influence or add more weight to my gimbal, I can just take it off if I'm filming in the middle of the day. But if I'm filming in the night, it's really cool that I don't need to charge this thing. It draws power from the gimbal itself, so I just magnetically attach it. I can have it track me, but I can also leverage it as a fill light. Really cool stuff. Reason number 3 is the 18 whooping hours of battery life. Self-explanatory, but the fact that we have up to 18 hours of battery life definitely can change if you're using the fill light and tracking for constant time. It may go a little bit further down or up, and it's refreshing because I don't have to worry. And you know, that definitely contributes to it not being foldable or pocketable, but I honestly trust this thing that it's going to last me an entire day of filming. And on top of having awesome 18 hours of battery life, you can actually charge your smartphone via a hidden port right under the arm where your phone grip sits. So if you're looking to film for a whole day or a couple of days, you only have to charge once for most times. Really great for travel. Now, reason number 4 is the free angle movement design. And this is why I've been very impressed with Hohem in the past couple of months, past year actually. Since the iSteady M6 has such a traditional design, I was concerned at first because one of the things that I've always struggled with has always been this motor. If I want to shoot with the ultra wide lens on my smartphone, or I use any Sandmark fisheye or ultra wide lenses, this motor will show in your footage. But the fact that they have actually thought of that, and just by simply clicking the lock button 4 times, it actually removes the motor out of the way so you can use your ultra wide camera. That automatically blew my mind when I saw it, because it was one of the main concerns that I had when I saw the gimbal, right? We've seen how smartphone gimbals have changed in design. Other gimbals out there in the industry actually have the motor to the side to avoid this. But when I saw it, I was concerned. I was like, hey, but what happens if I'm using the ultra wide camera? And they demonstrated this for me, and mind blown. So bravo Hohem for that thing. That's one of my favorite things of free angle movement. And reason number 5 is the 360-degree infinite spinning capability of this gimbal. You can spin around this. So I actually have a friend that's a roller skater that could benefit from something like this, because she could literally skate all over around the gimbal 360 degrees with no restriction. Also, it opens up the door for the Inception-like you don't have to worry about your shot stopping in one end over the other. It will just continue to spin. And this has been really cool, because when I'm filming those type of shots, I just simply go forward and back and rinse and repeat, and it allows me to stay in a flow. So at the time of recording this video, the Hohem iSteady M6 is priced at $209, down from $229. It includes the gimbal, the AI sensor, a tripod, charging cables, and a carrying case. The Hohem iSteady M6 has a vibrant OLED display, so you can see all your different modes that at this point we know and love. So we're not really going to spend too much time on these things, but you can pan follow, you can tilt and pan follow, you can lock everything it feels like, and then of course you have the ability to do POV as well. So lots of follow modes for the gimbal's behavior, and it's really nice that we have an OLED display that we can see it big and bright. Because sometimes when you see gimbals out there and they only have like a little light dot that you double click, triple click, and so, like changing those modes sometimes is really confusing, because you can't clearly see it, especially if you're out in a very bright environment. But the fact that we have an OLED display that we can actually see which mode we're in is really, really useful. It does have a scroll wheel that allows you to interact with the focus. If you're using the Hohem app, it also allows you to control the roll, and it allows you to interact with the AI sensor's light, the built-in fill light. Another function that's very important to me, it's actually the fact that this gimbal has an A and B buttons for motion control, for positioning. And this is very useful, because if you'd rather use a different application to capture your time lapses, you're not limited to using what the gimbal manufacturer wants you to use. So if you're looking for different controls, if you're trying to influence the shutter speed, the ISO, like Filmic Pro allows you to shoot in log or at a higher bit rate, you can actually with this gimbal use the AB buttons to position your gimbal. Prior to that, of course, via the Hohem app, you can set the stipulations and duration of that panning from point A to point B. But the fact that once you have those parameters set, you can preset your point A to point B without the Hohem app, and that opens up the possibility for you to have a constant moving target from point A to point B. And this could be used creatively, not only for motion time lapses, but let's say you're trying to record a reel, or you're trying to record a different kind of shot, maybe an automatic panning shot, without you having to use remotes or anything like that. Hey, I want to go from here to there, whether it's a time lapse or a regular shot. Super, super useful on a gimbal this price for smartphones. I feel the Hohem iSteady M6 is packing a ton of functionality, professional grade functionalities, at a really, really affordable and aggressive price. Now, it wouldn't be an EMT Films gimbal video if we didn't compare what the gimbal does to begin with, which is stabilize your videos. So we took it out for a spin and compared it against handheld, and we even did a quick running test. Now, I'm very impressed with the iSteady M6 and the stabilization that I can achieve on my videos. If you normally walk, you'll notice a little bit of a bounce, but if you bend your knees and ninja walk, you're gonna get nothing but butter. Having said that, I've been getting this question all the time, is like, hey, like image stabilization in the smartphone sector is getting really good inside the phone without any stabilizers. How do you justify this gimbal? And I think the Hohem iSteady M6, just like any other gimbal, will stabilize, of course, in a lot of different environments like running will do a much better job, but it's the extracurricular things, the cinematic approach and the filmmaking approach side of things that elevates that process. But the fact that I can leverage this to capture cinematic shots when I'm out and about, create those buttery crane reveal shots, jib shots, or any slider or dolly shot maneuvers. Underslung is fantastic with a gimbal because you can just go further down without bending and crawling on the floor. Those inception shots are things that you may not be able to capture as easily when just simply using your smartphone by hand. So sure, smartphone stabilization is really good nowadays, but if you're looking to capture a little bit more refined shot selection, that is when I believe the Hohem iSteady M6 rises above the rest. And yeah, 209, it's a very aggressive, compelling solution for smartphone filmmakers, and that's why I love it. But I want to know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have any questions or suggestions, drop them down there so we can continue to create relevant content for you. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a solid and hit that like button or subscribe down below. All the links to Hohem gimbals as well as all the gear I use are down in the description. And as always, thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I'll catch you on the next one.